The VLI train sliced through the heart of Brazil. Verdant tapestry of mountains and valleys blurred into an emerald streak. Inside, the air hummed with quiet conversations and the rhythmic clatter of the tracks. This wasn't just any journey, it was a high-stakes race against time. The train, christened Estrela do Sul, Star of the South, carried a precious cargo, a vital component for a new hydrogen generator. This wasn't just technology, it was a beacon of hope for a greener future. Its safe delivery to Sao Paulo was paramount. Among the passengers, a mix of businessmen, families, and students, sat a figure radiating an aura of intrigue. Dressed in a simple black suit, he was shackled to a hefty silver briefcase. His face, etched with a history untold, remained stoic, eyes darting around, observing every minute detail. The setting sun cast long shadows within the train car. The air grew cooler, mirroring the chilling mystery that had boarded the Estrela do Sul, turning the ordinary journey into a suspenseful drama. The man's name, as whispered by the conductor to a curious passenger, was Lucas. No one knew why he was bound to the suitcase. Was he a criminal? A government agent? Speculation swirled like the steam from the engine. Lucas never spoke, his silence amplifying the mystery. His eyes, however, spoke volumes. A stormy sea of anxiety and determination. He clutched a worn leather notebook, his knuckles white as bone under the pressure. The briefcase, bound to him by a heavy-duty handcuff, gleamed under the dim carriage lights. Every click of the wheels seemed to echo the importance of its contents. The fate of the hydrogen generator project, and perhaps more, rested within that cold, metallic shell. The other passengers, initially curious, began to feel a prickle of unease. The weight of the invisible cargo, the silent man, and his metallic burden pressed down on the atmosphere of the train. Night fell, blanketing the speeding train in darkness. Suddenly, a sharp, insistent beeping pierced through the quiet murmur of the night. Red lights flickered ominously on a panel near the conductor's cabin. Inside the control center in Belo Horizonte, screens lit up with alarming data. The newly installed track sensors, a point of pride for VLI, were registering an anomaly, a deviation from the standard rhythm of the train. "What is the meaning of this?" boomed a voice, thick with concern. It belonged to Augusto Silva, VLI's head of security, his face grim under the harsh fluorescent lights. "The anomaly originates from carriage 6, sir," a young technician stammered, his fingers dancing on the keyboard. "It seems there might be an imbalance." Augusto's mind raced. An imbalance? What could it be? His gut churned with a sense of foreboding. He knew from painful experience that even the smallest discrepancy could lead to catastrophic consequences. On board the Estrela do Sul, a man felt a chill run down his spine. Daniel Ramos, a senior engineer at VLI traveling to oversee the generator installation, couldn't shake off the unease that had gripped him since he boarded the train. The insistent beeping of the alarm sent a shiver down his spine. It brought back a rush of unwelcome memories, a haunting echo of a past he had tried hard to forget. 3 years ago, at the Neo Energia Brasilia power plant, a similar disregard for a minor equipment discrepancy had led to a catastrophic system failure. Daniel, then a rookie engineer, had witnessed firsthand the devastating consequences. The blackout, the panic, the loss. He remembered the acrid smell of burnt machinery, the frantic shouts, the look of utter despair on the faces of the workers. It was a lesson etched in fire and steel, a constant reminder of the price of complacency. News of the alarm spread through the train like wildfire. Passengers huddled together, anxiety etched on their faces. The rhythmic clatter of the train, once comforting, now resonated with an undercurrent of fear. Lucas, still shackled to his enigmatic suitcase, remained unnervingly calm. His eyes, however, betrayed a flicker of concern. He subtly adjusted his position, ensuring his body shielded the briefcase from prying eyes. A young woman, seated across from him, couldn't help but stare. She noticed him leafing through the pages of his notebook. It was filled with complex equations and diagrams that made her head spin. As the train swayed, she thought she saw a word scrawled in bold letters: Brasilia. Was it a coincidence? Or was this man somehow connected to the incident that had shaken the nation years ago? The whispers intensified, each murmur adding to the growing tension. The train, once a symbol of progress and connection, now felt like a steel cage hurtling towards an uncertain fate. Daniel knew he had to act. The alarm, the unease, the memory of Brasilia, it all pointed towards a potential catastrophe. He had to find the source of the imbalance and neutralize it before it was too late. He approached the conductor, his face grim. "We need to stop the train," he said, his voice firm despite the tremor running through him. "There's a potential safety hazard." The conductor, his face pale with fear, hesitated. "We can't just stop the train, sir. We have a schedule to keep." Daniel's voice rose, echoing through the carriage. "This is bigger than a schedule," he boomed, his eyes blazing with urgency. "It's about lives." Suddenly, a hand shot out, gripping Daniel's arm. He turned to find himself face to face with Lucas, the mysterious passenger. His eyes, usually a storm of emotions, were now eerily calm. "You're right," Lucas said, his voice a low rasp. "We need to stop the train, but not for the reason you think." He raised his shackled hand, revealing the silver briefcase. "This," he said, his voice barely a whisper, "is not a bomb, it's the solution." The train screeched to a halt, the sudden deceleration throwing passengers forward. All eyes were on Lucas, the man in the shadows, now stepping into the light. The fate of the train, the hydrogen generator, and everyone on board rested on his next words: "To be continued."